This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan, and welcome to your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 3 in a row, baby. 3 in a row. I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries. Still a game behind the Dodgers, by the way. The Dodgers beat the Rockies 3-1, but they are the Rockies after all. How do we get here tonight? What a win by the Padres. They came all the way back from a 3-0 deficit. They were down 3-0 when they came to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. In fact, they were no hit into the 5th tonight. Yu Darvish gave up 2 home runs in 5 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs total given up by Yu tonight, and things did not look good. It was actually kind of mirroring last Friday night's game in Colorado. So how'd they do it? What happened? You're going to have to stick around to find out. Like I said, I'm Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries, and this is your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to thank you for making us your first watch or listen. Myself, Javier Reyes, Locked On Padres Podcast. We are here on the same platforms, a like, anything, a sub, anything like that for him is for me and vice versa, for the network, for all of us as we are family. We got all our brothers, sisters, and everybody with me. So 4-3 the final, 3rd win in a row, still a game behind the Dodgers. Comeback fashion tonight. The bullpen, magnificent. Wait till I tell you what these relievers did tonight in back of Yu Darvish and how the Padres were able to scratch all the way back, tie the score, and then win it. Did I mention, by the way? I did not. It's called a tease. 10th inning, baby. Walk-off in extras. This is Padres Postcast. I'm Gries, and we are getting rolling. Full speed ahead right now.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Hey, how about the Padres tonight? 4-3 the final. They were down 3-0 in this game, and Yu Darvish gave up 2 home runs in this one. And obviously, you had TJ Friedl in the 1st inning, smashing one, and he's been hitting the ball really well for the Reds. And Ellie De La Cruz with an RBI single, and then Austin Hayes with a homer, going Austin 316. Says, I just whooped your ass. You know what I'm saying? So in the 10th inning, Fernando Tatis Jr. with a sacrifice fly, bringing home Jake Cronenworth, who was the freebie runner. The Padres beat the Reds 4-3, but we have so much more to tell you about in regards to how they got here. How did the winning run score for the Padres? Well, a simple 10th Avenue freeze-out, or a 10th inning freeze-out. Bruce Springsteen talked about 10th Avenue freeze-out. This is 10th inning freeze-out. Well, yeah, the Reds had a little bit of a brain cramp defensively. Nick Martinez, the former Padre, on the mound for the Reds. Freddie Fermin lays down the bunt with Cronenworth on second and nobody out. Freddie, probably the best bunter on the team. One of them anyway, maybe the best. And he lays down a beautiful bunt. Martinez goes to field it, throws the ball away. Now, maybe, okay, just maybe, a little bit was on the first baseman. Some of these first basemen don't have real good footwork these days, and they, just not able to really work that bag and work their magic and get to all the balls they should be able to get to. And it seems to be an epidemic around Major League Baseball. But anyway, Fernando does what Fernando does, wins baseball games, right? So a sinker down and in. Fernando found a way to lift it up in the air, out to left center, and then bang, that's all she wrote. But how did we get here? We got here with some guts, some guile, some grit, some determination from the Padres, who have been bruised, they've been battered, they've been up, they've been down, they've won, they've lost, and those last 2 games in Colorado putting on an offensive clinic, which, by the way, they had done earlier in the year as well. And then you don't want to know what they did after that in the aftermath of that. So let's just keep it where it is right now. Jackson Merrill, 2-run triple with 2 outs, big-time clutch hit in the bottom of the 6th inning. And, of course, Gavin Sheets with an RBI double before that. Sheets, by the way, 3 for 3. Perfect night at the dish. Also had a walk. He has been fantastic as of late for your San Diego Padres. I mentioned still a game behind the Dodgers. How about Wandy Peralta coming in to get the win? All he did was, get 1 out. But it was the biggest out of the game, obviously, because it led to the walk-off. But listen to me right now when I tell you this bullpen, even without Jason Adam, is absolutely incredible. This is exactly what A.J. Preller had in mind when he got Mason Miller. God forbid someone gets hurt. We still going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way A.J. Preller went out and approached this. You can never have an an embarrassment of riches that's too big in your bullpen. You just can't do it. It's impossible to even do. You don't want to even think about it if you're the Padres right now. You will in future seasons, maybe as early as this offseason. But for now, hey, you're going for the gusto. Preller knew that. He's got Mason Miller. He was the best pitcher on either team tonight on the field. Not even close, Mason Miller. And Suarez was electric in an inning and 2/3. One of the best performances I've seen all year from Robert Suarez. Came out after 5 outs, and Peralta got the 6th and then ended up getting the win. But you go Miller in the 8th through the teeth of that lineup, and then Suarez came out and got 5 outs, and the 9th and the 10th. So that was really, really nice the way Schulte did that tonight. Alek Jacob came in with 2 outs in the 6th for Darvish, who ended 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 7 strikeouts, no walks. It doesn't walk anybody. Threw like 7 pitches under 70 miles an hour. Yu Darvish continuing to reinvent himself in real time is a lot of fun to watch, right? Am I right? No? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Jacob, Estrada, and Jacob only a third of an inning. Estrada only a third of an inning. Morejon 2/3 of an inning. But man, oh man, the way that they broke those innings up, and Morejon coming on with 2 outs and getting TJ to line out and end the inning, just so many big spots tonight where guys were coming through, not just Merrill and Sheets in the 6th inning, and then Fernando and Becca Fermin in the 10th, but those pitchers, every single one of them. Jacob coming on with 2 outs in the 6th to close the door for Darvish. Think about that. Estrada goes to 3rd, Morejon 2/3 in the 7th inning. And think of that electric crowd when Morejon came in to get that last out, right? I believe I have that off. It was Estrada 2/3, Morejon 1/3 in that inning. Miller comes on, blows everybody away in the 8th. They managed to hit a fly ball off him on the 3rd out. How, I don't know. His slider's otherworldly. His changeup is dastardly. And his fastball is just ridiculously insane between 102 and 104. And then Suarez came on and just blew him away, right? And Peralta came in, got that last out. So they were able to win that game in the 10th inning. So what a phenomenal performance tonight by that Padre bullpen. Yeah, Merrill got the big clutch triple. Yeah, Sheets hit the double, and he was 3 for 3 with the walk. Yeah, Fernando got the job done with the sac fly. All those things, none of them. I'm not debating you anything. Manny ripped one on the screws tonight in the 8th inning, got robbed by the shortstop. Matter of fact, a lot of the Padres hitting the ball hard coming out of that Coors Field series. Got the Coors effect, no diggity. But when I think about tonight in that game, look, the Reds were up. Well, they scored 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 6th. It's 3-0. And then the Padres all of a sudden score 3. Bang, they hang a 3 spot, bottom of the 6th. Even with Bogey out, even with the injuries they've had. And by the way, Michael King coming back tomorrow. More on that in the second segment of the show tonight. Un momento, por favor. But yeah, 4-6-0 for the Pods, 3-7-1 for the Reds. And that one led to the game-winning run in the 10th inning on Fermin's bunt. But honestly speaking, even if they had fielded that cleanly and not thrown it away, the error wouldn't have led to anything anyway. It wouldn't have mattered anyway, is what I'm trying to say, because Fernando hit a fly ball on the next pitch anyway, and there's no way he would have gotten Jake at 3rd on the bunt, even if he had thrown Fermin out. And in that case, yeah, you can give up an extra base. Yeah, you can cost yourself an out, which might certainly cost yourself the game, which is why you get the error. But there's no way that Fermin's run would have mattered as long as Jake's still on 3rd and didn't do something stupid and get himself thrown out at the plate running on that play, which, oh, yeah, he almost did. But thankfully, he didn't. So anyway, that combo out of the bullpen tonight, you're just talking about magnificence all the way across the board. You know, I mean, you're talking about 1 hit from the entire bullpen allowed tonight after Darvish gave up the 6. So 1 hit. So you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 innings, pretty much, right? 4 innings, 3 1/3 innings. And you're talking about 1 hit allowed by the bullpen. You're talking about 6 strikeouts, 13 total when Darvish had 7. So 6 strikeouts, only 1 hit allowed. Not one single walk given up by the dang bullpen. Think about that, man. Think about that. I feel like Chris Tucker. Think about that, man. I mean, seriously, that's unbelievable. I'm sitting here doing the show, and I'm just like in awe of the historic performance from the San Diego Padres bullpen tonight. What a magnificent job they did in back of Darvish. Kept the crowd electric at Petco when you're in the game. You know you're just a couple of base runners away with that big-time lineup, and man, did those bats come on and deliver later on in the game after the bullpen. You know, hey, look, that's the way it's supposed to work. You pick up Darvish, you don't let him score anymore, and you just let your offense keep chipping away. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. This is your Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. John White says, King and Pavetta, next couple of nights, boom. You are right. John White. See that? I made it rhyme too. And by the way, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease at Jim Grease _ GRIES on social media. We're free on YouTube right after the games with the postcast, day by day with Javi with the podcast. But then we are also wherever you get the audio version of your podcast, wherever. I don't even have to say them. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, but wherever. And then Roku as well. You down with OTT? Yeah, you know me. Could be OPP. Gonna be a lot of OPP tonight going on in the gas lamp after that win. You know what I'm saying? Cam Davis says the key for Darvish was no walks. A couple of solo HRs didn't bury us. That definitely is the key, Cam, no doubt. The strikeouts are a nice bonus. To me, they just bring up the pitch count a lot of times, but no walks is always the key for pitchers. Always, always, always. Are you listening, Dylan Cease? Are you listening, Michael King? No, of course they're not. Well, maybe they are. You never know. But you guys come on into the chat, say what up to your boy, and of course, give us those likes. Give us that, smashing of the bell, bing. So, that wouldn't be like a smashing of a bell, like dong, like a Tommy Lee bell. You know what I'm saying? And then you smash that bell so you get the alerts when we're coming your way with more content. And a like, a sub, all those things for me, for Javi, it's all the same. It's for the channel. It's for you. He's been building it since before the pandemic, and we are here day in, day out. Literally the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. You everydayers know, especially for me, man, I'm literally menopausal and I'm a male. Go figure, right? But that's what baseball does to me. Holler if you hear me and raise your hand if you're with me. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Taking a break, not going anywhere. Hopefully you don't either. Just want to tell you about a couple of things that could make your life better, easier, cheaper, any of those things. Why wouldn't you want to listen to that? And then we continue. You get the turning point. You get the player of the game. You get to look ahead to tomorrow with Down with the King, coming back, Michael King, and so much more. Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. They don't walk it off every day. Westside walk it off. Now Padres walk it off, but they did tonight, 4-3 over the Cincinnati Reds to open up the series and keep that winning streak going at 3. Let's take a break. I'll yap all night. We'll continue in just a couple of minutes. After I tell you and forgive me, because I'm reading off my phone. But hey, you know what I mean? This is what I'll do to get the job done for you, to tell you about these deals that you cannot get anywhere else. And my old ass better turn it sideways and maybe even put on the readers. How about this for Padres Postcast First? Grease with the readers on. What you know about those readers? Looking good too, right? Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401k, whether it's properties, whether it's investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you end up wearing readers or you end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire, financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. I make these look good, don't I? Monarch is built for people with busy lives. Don't we all have busy lives? If you put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes. You can see clear data visuals. You can see smart categorization of your spending. And finally, feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. I realized how much money I spent on the dang laziness apps, like having food delivered, things like that, as well as not spending enough money, not saving enough money, not investing enough in my 401k or in general. And Monarch made me keenly aware of all those things. Plus, I can share it with my financial advisor, my accountants, and go, Chris, please, you're killing us. But yeah, now they can see it in real time. And they're like, really? Is that even possible? Yes, it is. But do not let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at Monarch Money. Half off your first year at Monarch Money with code LOCKEDONMLB on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And while I'm at it, I might as well keep on going and tell you about Zippix. Did I say Zip-It? No, I said Zippix, not Zip-It. Zippix. What are Zippix? Well, hey, this episode is brought to you by Zippix Toothpicks, and everybody loves toothpicks, right? Well, wait till you hear about these ones from Zippix. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, how about that? Zippix with 2 Ps has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine infused toothpicks. You heard me right. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings and that hand-to-mouth feeling, right? Without vaping, without smoking. Zippix 2 Ps can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors, 2 milligram, 3 milligram options for nicotine. And if you need energy without the crash, they are caffeine toothpicks, and they are a game changer from Zippix. Man, oh man, the taste, the energy, all the above. I'm just coming out of my skin right now with this Padres walk-off, and you can too. Go to ZippixToothpicks.com. That's Zippix, ZippixToothpicks.com. Use code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older to order. Come on, you know the deal. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's Zippix, Toothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix toothpicks, and I can take off the readers because I am done with the spot off the phone. Bang. It's the little things, Padre fans. It's the little things, like a 4-3 win in September. You got less than 20 games left, man. That bullpen working its magic. It might have been a little overcrowded, right? Matsui didn't pitch tonight. Morgan didn't pitch tonight. Rapinakio or whatever his name is didn't pitch tonight. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is with this bullpen. You got electric arms like Peralta's got a 3.39 ERA with a 6-1 record. Matsui has had a couple of bad outings, but other than that, he's been lights out from the left side. Morejon, all-star, get your game on, go play. Estrada had about a 4-week stretch where nobody was touching him. Morgan did the same. I mean, this is an embarrassment of riches, man. You know, just blindfold. Hey, give me the righty. Hey, give me the lefty. Hey. No one can screw that up. And Suarez, you know what I mean? I was worried he was going to prove me right tonight and make Schulte look bad again, where Miller comes in the 8th, and it's obvious to anyone with a pair of eyes, even maybe without eyes at this point, that Miller's your closer, not Suarez. I mean, I had to do it. Sorry, Schulte, you won the game, but come on, man. Mason Miller's your closer, not Robert Suarez. Let me repeat, Mason Miller is your closer, not Robert Suarez. Anyway, we got a couple of things to do in a short time to do them in, but it's a walk-off win. A win is a win is a win. You know what I'm saying? But it is a little bit concerning to think that this guy will be one of those, like, he's like the uncle at the Christmas party going, no, I don't want to play music off the phone. My day, we didn't do it that way. But hey, Uncle Dale, the record player doesn't work. The cassette, you know, nobody has tapes anymore. Oh, we got a CD player. It's right, at least get the CD player. And he was the same guy 15 years ago. I don't need a CD player. My cassettes are just fine. Anyway, my point is you have to keep with the times and evolve and grow. And a baseball team has its own life. And each segment from within that team, you know, we're talking about even the locker room, but there's the pitchers, right? But then there are the relievers, the guys that are out in the bullpen every day, the starters doing their work in between games, the infielders, the outfielders, the coaches. You know what I mean? Every part of the team is its different group, but then it comes together to form one big group, and it's constantly evolving, constantly moving, constantly changing. It's like an amoeba. It never, ever stops, and it has to continue to evolve. Your closer leaving spring training isn't always your closer at the end of the year. You know what I mean? There's things like trades, things like just shakeups throughout the season, right? Kids coming up, like the kid in Boston, you know, kids coming up during the season, big time trades, other players somehow finding their way to your team, injuries, all sorts of crap happening all the time that you have to wait. What? Hello, someone? Manage. Hey, Schulte, you have to manage him. So Mason Miller's your closer. Without a doubt, he's your closer, just like Luis Ariz is your second baseman. Ryan O'Hearn, who didn't play in the lineup tonight, is your first baseman. I shouldn't have to waste valuable time on the show to say those things, speaking of which I won't do it anymore because it is time for tonight's Turning Point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the Turning Point.
Pretty easy turning point tonight. Pretty easy turning point tonight. There are a couple of them. You know, I mean, obviously it's a 10th inning win, and Suarez was fantastic, and Miller was fantastic, and all those things. And, you know, jams were pitched out of, and big things happened throughout this game. That's what's going to happen when you're down 3-0 and you end up winning 4-3. And, you know, you've got your 7th walk-off win of the year, and big things are happening. You've already got players out. You're already playing with a short hand, and things are going to be happening, right? So, yes, I give Mike Schulte all the credit in the world for those things, right? All those things in the world. I only have the scoring plays up. That is why. All right, here we go. You ready? It was the bottom of the 6th inning. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone everywhere in between. Barlow came into the game for the Reds. What is this with Lodolo was cruising, man. He was cruising. You know, a bunt single with 2 outs in the 5th breaks up the, you know, I mean, and it just is crazy. It's absolutely insane. And so then you, that breaks up the no-no, right? So then you go to the top of the 6th inning and you get the home run. It's 3-0. So what do you do? Oh, we're going to take him out. He only threw like 82 pitches, but we're going to take him out anyway. Bozo of the night. Can you imagine being in Cincinnati right now? You're a Reds fan and they took Lodolo out only to let the Padres come tie the game right away off your bullpen, you lose your dang mind. All right, well, here we go. Bottom of the sixth, turning point, and here we go. Tatis Jr. in the middle of it, singles to center, steals second, number 28 on the year. Arise lines out, Machado strikes out, Gavin Sheets with a double, 2 outs to get the Pods on the board. Laureano draws a walk, and then, yeah, nice walk by Laureano too, by the way, 4 pitch. Then they bring Suter in, and Merrill triples with 2 outs, scoring Sheets and Laureano. Bang. Fernando in the middle of it all. Merrill staying hot. Laureano in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Really nice. And Sheets maybe the hottest hitter in the lineup. Then in the 10th, we told you how it happened. Cronenworth's the free runner. Fermin the bunt. Nick Martinez, former Padre, throws it away. Didn't really do much other than make Fermin safe, which didn't matter anyway. But then Fernando with the sac fly. So your turning point was the bottom of the 6th when the Padres tied the game at 3, which leads me to...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
We got Gavin Sheets 3 for 3 with a walk and a big RBI double. We got Jackson Merrill with a 2-out, 2-run triple in the 6th inning, to tie the game. We have, oh man, Fernando Tatis Jr., a single, stolen base, run scored in the 6th, and the sacrifice fly to win it in the 10th, right in the middle of both innings. That won the game for the Padre offense, but no. This is a shared award tonight, and I've been dying to do this. I'm doing it tonight because they deserve it almost every night. But tonight, especially, the San Diego Padre bullpen, Ruben Niebla, Mike Schild, were doing cartwheels in the dugout. It was a sight to see. You should have seen it. No, I'm kidding. They weren't. But after Yu Darvish goes 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 7 strikeouts, no walks, 2 homers, leaves down 3-zip. What happens when Alek Jacob comes in to finish off the 6th? What happens when Jeremiah Estrada gives you 2 outs in the 7th? Adrian Morejon comes in to get the 3rd out. What happens when Mason Miller goes in the 8th inning, a perfect inning? What happens when Robert Suarez gives you an inning and 2/3 and Wandy Peralta gets that last out to pick up his 6th win against 1 loss? I'll tell you what happens. You get a player of the game from the Padres bullpen, because what did they do tonight? 3 1/3 innings in back of Yu Darvish. And what did they do? 1 hit, 6 strikeouts. That's it. That's it from the bullpen. Bunch of dogs out there. And by the way, one more time, I'm just going to say Mason Miller is your closer. I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, Gries, at Jim Gries _ on social media. Hope you enjoy the show tonight as much as I enjoy doing it. It's always a blast, especially when they win and the postseason is on the line. They're in the mix. They're just right now a game behind the Dodgers. So much going on in Major League Baseball. So thank you for being here right after the games of the Postcast, live on YouTube. Then we upload, you download Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, and of course, Roku, OPP, no, OTT. It's 53. I know, I do it every night. But the Padres win 4-3. They're a game behind the Dodgers. Tomorrow, Michael King comes back from the 2nd injury. He was out with the shoulder. Then he comes back, hurts the leg. He's been out since. 1 start in between where he went 2 innings. So fingers crossed for Michael King tomorrow. 6:40 first pitch, and Zach Littell is pitching for the Reds. I'll be here right after the game with your postcast. Thank you for making us your first watch or listen. The podcast, the postcast, all of us here on YouTube, wherever you get your audio version, and of course the Roku. If that's not enough for you junkies out there on the baseball side of things, then hit Locked On MLB Game Night on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast, every game, every night, until a World Series champion is crowned. Javi with the podcast, myself with the postcast right here on these channels as the Padres go for the trophy for the first time ever, and they are in good position to get it. Thank you so much for being here. Padres win 4-3-10, walking it off on a Fernando Tatis Jr. sacrifice fly. Till tomorrow night, Padre Nation, keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. Jim Gries, and I am out.